So now in this video, we are going to understand why exactly we need Redux in React Native or React.js applications. Okay, so let's get started. So let's assume that we have this app component. Inside this app component, we have two nested components. One is home and one is profile. Again, in this home, there are some nested component. Again, in this profile, there are some nested component. Let's assume that home fetches some data online and uses it. Now, profile also want that same data. So now what profile can do is profile can again fetch the data online and can use it, but in here we are duplicating the code. Instead, there should be some way to share data from home to profile. So what we can do is we can pass that data. In order to share data from home to profile, we can pass the data to app, and again from app we can pass the data to profile. But this approach is really a bad approach. We will end up with lot of unwanted code, and passing this data from child to parent is also tough, and app doesn't want that data. Still we need to pass the data from home to app, right? App doesn't want that data. Still we need to pass data to this app, right? So let's say if you want to share data between this component and profile component, then we want to pass data all the way from home to app to profile. So this is really we will end up really with lot of unwanted code. This is really a bad approach, by passing this data from child to parent, again to parent, and again to this child. So this is really a bad approach. So Redux tries to solve the problem of data sharing. So whenever it comes to data sharing, Redux comes into the picture. How? Redux acts as a central store and solves this problem. Now let's assume that home fetches data. Now home, after fetching the data, home will update the central store using Redux, right? Home will update the central store using Redux. Now all the data is kept in the central store. Now if profile wants that same data, profile can contact the central store, or profile can access it, right? Profile can contact Redux and can access it. Home can similarly, if home wants that same data, home can contact Redux and can access it. Let's say if this component want that data, right? This component can contact Redux and can get the data, right? So Redux really makes data sharing easy, right? Okay. Now let's say if you want to update the central store data store. Now update is not that straightforward, right? Now updates follows a little cycle. Let me show you that cycle. This is a cycle which we need to follow in order to update a state. Update central data store or update central data state. You can call it whatever you want. Okay. So let's see what is that little cycle. So let's say if this component wants to update this data. Now what component will do? Component will dispatch an action. Now action is nothing. It's just a JavaScript object which has two keys. One is type and one is payload. Now let's say if you want to update the data, then type will be update. Let's say if you want to delete the data, type will be delete, right? If you want to insert the data, type will be insert, right? Okay. And this payload is nothing. It's just data which we are sending, right? So things will get more clear when we will implement this in our next video. So things will get more clear. Okay. Now this action is passed to reducer. Now reducer will check, oh, it has a type of update, so I need to update the state. So whatever reducer will return, it will be an updated state. So this is how Redux works. Redux mainly tries to solve the problem of data sharing. So this is it for this video, right? So I will see you guys in the next video, and we will be implementing this Redux in React Native.